All right, peace, family. This your brother Assad. It's been a minute since I dropped a little video on the old Book of the Face, but there's a situation right now with this brother Alfred Banks, and I want to say peace to brother Alfred Banks. I wasn't coming to your post to troll, but I'm sincere about what I'm saying. So you asked who I was, and maybe you're concerned about my critique of hip hop and rap music, or rap music in particular. So who am I? I'm a poet. I'm a husband, I'm a father, and I also have a PhD in intercultural relations. So my critique of hip hop is not from some insincere or uneducated place. It is from an analysis of the genre itself. About 4 years ago, I was in my truck when I was still living in New Orleans, and I picked my son up from school. And just out of curiosity, I asked him, "Who your favorite rapper? You listen to rap music?" You know, because we Muslim, so I don't have a lot of music playing in my house, right? And if I do, it's like Bob Marley, it's like, you know, Al Green, or something like that, because I don't want a whole bunch of cursing around my kids. I'm trying to be a role model to my children. But I know that there's influences at school. So I asked him, I said, "Young man, who your favorite rapper? What rapper you listen to?" He pulled out his phone and he played Lil Durk. And for the first time in my life, I didn't listen to rap music as a fan. I listened to it as a father. And it struck me in a very strange and deep way. Here's my son, who I want to be a positive influence on the world, who I spend every day trying to instill in him the values that my father and my grandfather and my mother, God rest her soul, taught me. And I realized that in this world, he will be influenced by other things other than the stuff that I teach him at home. And I just hope that what I teach him will be enough that he does not follow a path that will lead to his own destruction, or even worse, or just as worse, to make him not the man that I think he has the potential to be. So from that point on, I did what any researcher would do. I began to examine rap. I began to look at the genre as a whole and its impact. And my earliest post about examine rap, I said that rap music has waged an axiological war on our aesthetics and our ethics. Now, I'm not going to front and tell you that I knew what axiology was before I got into a PhD program, so I'll explain it for those who may or may not know. Axiology is the branch of philosophy that deals with ethics and aesthetics. Ethics: what is ethical, what is unethical, what is acceptable, what is unacceptable, what is moral, what is immoral, what is right, what is wrong, right? And aesthetics is not just about beauty, not just about what is attractive and unattractive, but also about harmony and peace. The environment in which we live, is it harmonious and is it peaceful? And I said that rap has waged war on what we once considered to be ethical, right? And what we once considered to be aesthetically pleasing or aesthetically acceptable. What do I mean by that? Well, if you sit down and talk to your grandpa, your pawpaw, people of that generation, somebody 65, 70 years old, ask them what they think about women. Hmm? Ask them if they think bitches ain't shit but hoes and tricks. What you think they're gonna say? Ask him if he believes he can't trust these hoes, right? Can't trust no hoe. Ask him if he believes it ain't no fun if the homies can't have none. Right? Now, at the same token, find somebody that's maybe my age, right? About to be 50 or 45, 46. And then ask them their opinion on women. And I'm sure you will see a difference. Then go ask somebody 16, 17 how they feel about women. Go ask your grandfather, your papa, about taking a life, about violence, about shooting up a block, right? Then go ask somebody my age, then go ask somebody 16. And what you will find through all of this is an erosion of our ethics, right? Now, some people say you can't blame it all on rap music. Rap music is not 1,000% to blame. But what it is the soundtrack of our erosion, of the erosion of our ethics and our aesthetics. It is the soundtrack, right? It is the music that we listen to while we're riding in our car. Some of us ain't never been to jail, never killed nobody, never sold dope, but we listen to that music and we take that energy in and it impacts us. You say, oh man, no, it's just music, Dr. Assad. Then how come when you go to a funeral they play certain music and it make you feel something? How come when you getting ready to make love to a woman, you put on certain kind of music? How come when you hear them beats, right, and them drums and them horns at the second line, you can't help but start to do a little footwork? Music is powerful. And the words that people speak, as a poet, I'm telling you this. Not as Dr. Assad. Now, as a poet, I'm telling you this. Words are spells. Man, my sister Sonny told me that maybe about 15, 20 years ago. Maybe even longer. She said that's why they call it spelling. Right? Words are spells. And these spells have been cast on generations of black people. And it has eroded what we understand to be right and wrong. So even if you are making positive rap music, the genre itself has been branded. The overarching music, type of music that is coming from the genre is destructive, it's misogynistic, it's violent, it promotes prison culture, it promotes rape culture, right? And so we'll argue and say, well, they got these positive rappers. And I will say my argument is very simple to that. The NBA, an NBA player is tall. That's a generalization, right? And you can point and say, well, Muggsy Bogues, I don't know if y'all even remember Muggsy Bogues or Spud Webb. They wasn't tall. They was only 5'6", 5'9", or whatever have you, right? But the reality is that NBA players are tall. They 6'5", 6'6", 7'1", and all that. So while you're pointing out anomalies or you're pointing out exceptions to the rule, I'm talking about the rule. I'm talking about what's really out there. I don't know, Alfred, if you got a song on the radio, but I know Cardi B on the radio. I know Dirk and them on the radio. I know all the gangster rappers on the radio. So we don't have to go and mine, M-I-N-E, right? Mine the bad rap. We don't have to go and search out the bullshit. It's there. It's being marketed and promoted to us on the TV, on the YouTube, on the radio. It's there. So that's my concern. If I say I love black people and I'm saying this thing here is harming black people, then we need to call it out. And it needs to be called out. Shout out to D1. D1 is a rapper who has been calling it out. And people give him the same energy that I get, right? And he got more credibility because he's a rapper. You dig? I'm just an old researcher, just an old PhD Negro who love black people. I love black people so much, I didn't think New Orleans was black enough. I moved my ass to Africa. Dig that. So all I'm saying is, yeah, don't get caught up in maybe my delivery of what I was saying. What I'm saying is not coming from a place of trying to troll anybody. This is from a father, a researcher, and a person who really loves black people. There is something harmful about that music. There's something dangerous about music that is talking about selling drugs and killing black people. God rest my mama's soul. But she couldn't even sit on her porch uptown no more, because she was in fear of people that may do her something, that may drive by or try to rob this old lady on her porch. And I'm telling you, they not listening to Kirk Franklin when they talking about robbing people. No, no, no. Tasha Cobbs or Marvin Sapp is not the soundtrack to homicides, right? There's an interesting Ghetto Boys what is it called? Unsung. I don't know if Unsung even come on anymore, but it's an interesting Unsung with the Ghetto Boys. And they said one of the brothers, one of the members of Ghetto Boys, it wasn't Willie D. I think it was one of the guys who was no longer there, but he was early on with rap a lot. And he said when they first went to Chicago, they ran into some GDs, some gangster disciples. And the gangster disciple told him, said, man, I be smoking niggas to your music. That should give you pause. That should make you stop. Literally the soundtrack of Black Death. How can we say we love black people if we will listen to music and promote music that's about killing each other, that's about selling drugs, that's calling our women? Oh my God. Just think about, and now our sisters, Sexy Red and Meg the Stallion and the other the La Mix girl, I forgot her name, but listen to what they are saying. That's go ask. Now go listen to what those sisters are saying, and then go ask your grandmama if that's a representation of her, if that's something that she agrees with ethically. See, that's what I'm talking about, the erosion. We went from sisters like Rosa Parks, who sat with quiet dignity at the back of the bus, right? She wasn't calling herself a bitch with a problem, a bad bitch, and nigga gotta pay me. That ain't us. That ain't where we come from. That's what's happening to us. That is what has happened. That is the war that is being waged against us. That ain't us. That ain't the type of people we are. We don't come from those type of people. We don't come from that. We're not cut from that cloth. They made us. They put that bag on us. They put that jacket on us. And they say, well, no, you think the ghetto and thugging and selling dope been happening? Just started happening? No, it's been happening. It's been happening a long time. But go back and see if Fats Domino was talking about shooting up the block. Go back and see if Aaron Neville and them ever made a song about killing another black man or selling dope or calling a woman a bitch or a hoe. Go see if Alan Toussaint made that type of music, right? Those are our musical legends. Those are our musical grandparents. Go see what type of music that they're making, and then go find me the hottest rapper in New Orleans and see what type of music he making. We have this music has eroded and has damaged and distorted who we are, and we gotta call that shit out. We can't be playing with that shit, man. It's a whole war going on right now. These white people acting crazy. And while we need music that make us unify, we need music that make us feel like soldiers against a war that is being waged right now. Not against other black people, but against an enemy who has been our sworn enemy for the last 400 years. That's what we need. We need music that's going to uplift black women. We need the music that's going to make black children want to go to school and get educated and do something to uplift their communities. And look, I mean, it's a hell of a lot of critique we could have for rappers. It's been 50 years. 50 years of rap music. 50 years of rap music, and we still sit back with the same excuse talking about, well, it's the white man putting it out. You mean to tell me we don't have the ingenuity, the intelligence, the wherewithal to control the music that we culturally make after 50 years? Well, we gotta be some slow, dumbass people then, huh? And I definitely don't believe that about my people. But something gotta be wrong. At the 50 years of Negroes rapping, we don't have a, what rapper opened up a school in New Orleans? What rapper got a food bank in New Orleans? What rapper got a scholarship for the children in New Orleans? Huh? If you're gonna make all this old rap music, what have they contributed to our community? Why are we so, like back when I was in high school, we used to debate, was it Martin or Malcolm? That was our debate. Martin or Malcolm? What side you on? You on the Martin side? You on that old I have a dream in the great or you on that Malcolm stuff that by any means necessary. Now we having conversation about who your top 5 dead or alive. Who give a fuck? Them niggas ain't done nothing for the community yet. 50 years. You can point out to people, or they gave something back here, or they did a donation here, whatever have you, but they ain't help organize the community. They haven't built any institutions in our community, right? They have not made any positive impact that lasts beyond some very individual shit, you know? So I don't have no love for black folk that ain't doing nothing for black folk. And not only that, are they not doing anything for black folk, they are literally creating music that's harming black folk. It's harming us psychologically, it's harming us spiritually, it's harming us mentally, and eventually it harms us physically because Negroes be riding around listening to that bullshit, full of that weed, full of them pills, full of that liquor, and they listening to this old violent ass music and they go out and do violent ass shit. Yeah, so that's how I feel about it.